Welcome to Fulltime to Freelance, where we share the untold stories of former 9-to-5ers who have traded in so-called job security for reclaiming their time, their sanity, creative control, and moreover, truly loving what they do now. Daisy Mills and her beautiful flower shop in Surrey spent a decade climbing the ladder in high-end floristry, from luxury Italian hotels with Michelin-starred restaurants to London's most prestigious florist, serving royalty and demanding clients who'd call at 4 a.m. with their flower requests. But despite reaching the pinnacle of her industry, Daisy made the bold decision to step away from the guaranteed paycheck and intense pressure to create something entirely her own. In January 2025, she opened Parviflora with her business partner Kate, transforming their passion for wild, natural flower arrangement into a thriving business built on their own terms. From managing other people's seemingly impossible expectations to predicting Valentine's Day demand without historical data, Daisy's journey reveals what it really takes to build a creative business from scratch. Whether you're trapped in a high-pressure career or dreaming of turning your passion into profit, Daisy's story offers honest insights about the beautiful chaos of entrepreneurship and why some risks are absolutely worth taking.
I'm Daisy Mills O'Brien. I'm the owner here at Parviflora Florist, and I've been a florist for 10 years. Started when I was really young. I chose to do a floristry course instead of going to university because it was something I was really passionate about. And I worked through that at the same time as doing work experience in any local shops that would take me. I would sweep the floor, do anything they wanted, wash the buckets, just to be sort of close to the flowers and get into what I wanted to really do. My mum's a garden designer and a gardener, and she would always sort of take me around gardens when I was younger and teach me the Latin names of flowers, and always had me interested in them. So I thought, in what way can I get into this as a job? I think when I was really young I wanted to be an artist, and everyone says to you that's not really something you can do as a job. Obviously it is, but I found my own way into sort of making it a career.
Some people go to university. Daisy chose flowers. At a young age, she made the bold decision to pursue floristry over traditional education, driven by a passion ignited by her mother's garden tours and Latin flower lessons. What started as childhood fascination became hands-on dedication, washing buckets, sweeping floors, anything to stay close to the blooms she loved. For Daisy, floristry wasn't just a job, it was her creative calling. So I asked Daisy, how do you turn passion into professional expertise in such a demanding industry?
I'm from Brighton originally, just outside of Brighton, so I started off working in shops down there, which was a really good start with just the basics for me, and I went from there to, I actually got a job in Italy at a 5-star hotel, so I was the in-house florist there, which was very, very challenging, very high pressure experience, but kind of got me ready for when I came back to England and moved to London and started my career there. So it's been a lot of different stops along the way. So a 5-star hotel, we had a Michelin star restaurant on site, a luxury spa, a yacht as well that would sail in and out, and another Michelin star restaurant in Florence. Between just two florists, it was a lot of work. We did weddings as well, we did flowers for every single room on site, and obviously the clients were very, very demanding in their own way and had their own preferences, and just the director obviously wanted everything perfect all of the time. So it was really, really good for me as a young florist learning, but incredibly stressful at the same time. In London, a very different experience again to being in Italy. It was suddenly all just still very high pressure, but not in this remote, beautiful location anymore. It was every single day was very, very intense. I got to do some amazing, amazing projects I've always wanted to do, hotels I've always wanted to work in, events that I've always wanted to do. I was working for Moisey Stevens, the oldest florist in London, and I was the manager of their Sloane Square location. So again, like incredible experience, a lot of really high profile clients and royalty, but came with its own, not even 9 to 5, it's just whatever hours are needed, evenings, night shifts sometimes, early mornings, and a lot of pressure. I have had phone calls at 4 a.m. of what they wanted for the next day. There was a few clients that I would go to their houses personally and do their weekly flowers, and the things I expect is obviously very, very high. They have a house full of staff, they've got their own driver and their own cleaners and chefs, and you're kind of an extension of that to them, and what they expect of you is very it's high pressure.
Daisy's journey took her from Brighton flower shops to the luxury hotels of Italy, where Michelin-starred restaurants and demanding clientele pushed her skills to the limit. Her career then led to London's oldest florist in Sloane Square, serving royalty and high-profile clients who expected perfection around the clock. 4 a.m. phone calls and personal house visits became routine, the price of working at the highest levels of the floral industry. I asked what would make someone thriving in such an elite environment decide to walk away and start over.
I think the catalyst for starting my own business was moving out of London. Me and my partner bought this little cottage in Surrey and sort of changed the speed of our lives a little bit. I came to Surrey still in this like high sort of, energy mode, and thought, okay, I can actually slow down a bit here, and I can enjoy my surroundings, and I can enjoy my weekends, and I can have some of my evenings back, and started to think, okay, I found work here, but this way of living is really nice for me, and maybe I could be doing this for myself with my own business. And I met my business partner Kate through one of our jobs, and she has her whole own amazing story as well. She was a dentist in Harley Street for her whole career, again really high pressure, and started to learn with me, and she had this interest in floristry that she'd never really tapped into, and yeah, we decided that she was going to leave her job and I was going to leave mine, and we thought, why not do this together and have our own shop. Parviflora is Latin for with little flowers. We wanted to find something that was Latin, which is obviously a huge part of plant and flower names. For me, it was just something so different. If you Google it, there's no other florist in the world called that. And I think the little flowers for us, we love sort of wild style and country style, and all the little meadow flowers that maybe get overlooked with roses and hydrangeas, and it very much summed us up, I think. It took us a long time. We had a few sitting at the pub and getting the notebook out and brainstorming terrible things, and eventually came to this one, and we both just went, oh, that's the name, definitely. So it took us a while. Parviflora is in the middle of Bramley High Street. It is a busy area. There's a busy road outside, which for us is great. People see us, they go past every single day on the way to Guildford. But yeah, we get more footfall than we thought here as well. It is a busy location for us. We originally weren't sure about the location. We were thinking, okay, if it's not that busy here, we've got our website, we've got other things we want to work on. But honestly, most of our customers come in person. We get to know them, every single week, which is really lovely. I've worked at a lot of different florists. Every single one has their own style that's completely different to the one before. So as someone that's just, employed in different places, you've got to adapt to their style, but each time you learn something completely different, a new skill set of, maybe they want a very formal sort of rose domed style, or maybe they want a very natural, rustic, wild style. And I started to notice which ones I enjoyed the most, which was the more wild style. And I started to think, this is all I want to do, really. These looser bouquets, more natural. In floristry, when you learn, it's very traditional, and there's sort of rules that you must have 3 of everything and 5 of everything, and certain patterns they have to follow. And I thought, I don't want to be doing that. It's not. I want things to be more as they'd be in a garden or as you'd see in nature. And I thought having my own business might be what that needs, in having that sort of creative control over that.
The answer came in the form of a small Surrey cottage. Moving out of London's chaos, Daisy discovered something she'd lost: balance. Partnering with Kate, a former Harley Street dentist, seeking her own career change, they created Parviflora, Latin for with little flowers. Their vision was clear: celebrate the wild, natural beauty often overshadowed by traditional arrangements. In January 2025, they opened their doors, terrified no one would come. Instead, they found a community ready to embrace their unique approach. I then asked Daisy, what does it really take to run your own business after years of working for others?
We have only been open 3-4 months now, so it's still very, very new. We took over the shop in December, so we had a month to sort of get ourselves set up and ready. So it's still so new, but it feels more established than we thought we'd feel at this stage. So we took December just to decorate and get our furniture, and 2024, so not very long ago. So it's all been a bit of a rush. Yeah, it's been busier than we imagined in our first few months as a brand new business with no customer base, Nobody knows who we are. It's more than we could have hoped for at this stage, which is only, spring, summer. First week of January, we didn't think anybody would come in at all. We thought we're going to turn up and nobody will come and we'll have flowers on the stand, and we just didn't know how it would go. And even that first day, people were so supportive and so lovely. We had a bit of a party here on the Saturday and all our friends and family came, but also people were still pouring in, and it was just an amazing first week. So it's sort of snowballed since then. It's a whole new thing. Like, obviously I've run other people's businesses and I've managed other people's businesses, but having your own and making all of those decisions knowing it's, well, one, your money, and two, just it's all on you. And I think we've just had to put so much care into, okay, I've got to order flowers and I don't know, I've got no previous year's statistics to think, will Valentine's be busy, will Mother's Day be busy, both of which we had in our first 3 months, which is like our busiest peak times. It was all just like a shot in the dark. I had to predict how many flowers to order. I couldn't pre-order anything, and it's all been guesswork, which is scary to me. I'd like to know what to order and what to do, and accounts, that's a whole nother thing. We've had to have a bookkeeper and accountant just to advise as much as possible in the first stages because it's all new to us completely. So there's been a lot of challenges as well. It's not all perfect, but I've enjoyed all of it. I think it's all been new challenges. Nature for me. That walk I was talking about in the morning, just going along the river, and I want to pick things and see things, and I think what we do is so natural here that being in Surrey has inspired that a lot. I think having moved out of London, all of our bouquets on our website are all Surrey Hills themes. There's a Surrey Hills, there's a Guildford Castle, they're all named after locations, which will sort of change throughout the year. I think the area has given us a lot of inspiration. Never. I really couldn't now. I think the sort of creative control I have now and the freedom we have now, although it has been really intense in the first period, I think we're now starting to think, God, we could have some staff and we could have a few of our weekends back and some of our life back. And I think I just could never go back to working for somebody else, ever. Ever. All the furniture has come from all over. Some was just things people were throwing away. We went to, sounds terrible, the Tip has a shop and things are kind of like £5, £10. I went around charity shops, car boot sales. We stocked the whole shop for very, very little, which I don't think you would realise looking at it at all. All the vases as well. I went to charity shops, I was looking at vases for sort of £1 to £2. We kitted out the whole shop for very little with what we could at the time. We take online orders. A lot of them come from as far as Australia, obviously the rest of the country, but a lot from abroad, who are obviously looking for a florist that's near to someone that lives here. But they often become returning customers as well, which is amazing that it's gone beyond the local area. I think you've got to really, really want to do it. It's going to be really difficult at first. You've got to put like your whole heart and your energy and your focus into it. But then it will start to reward you with, okay, my life is a bit more flexible and I do things sort of on my schedule and it's so worth doing. Secondly, I think don't be afraid to ask every professional you can for help. If you need to sit down with an accountant and go over every question you have, even if it sounds really, really stupid. I asked a lot of stupid questions. Take that advice because it's a whole new world moving from full-time employment where everything was sort of taken care of for you into doing that for yourself. And I think you've got to just be a bit mad, like there's no, as much advice as you take, no one can tell you for sure this is going to work out and it's going to be fine. I think you have to just go for it.
Running your own floristry business means making educated guesses about Valentine's Day demand without last year's data to guide you. It means furnishing your entire shop from charity stores and car boot sales, turning £2 vases into a thriving retail space. But it also means creative freedom, the ability to focus on loose, natural arrangements that mirror how flowers actually grow in gardens. For Daisy, the formula is simple. Commit completely, ask for help without shame, and embrace the beautiful madness of entrepreneurship. Daisy's story truly was fascinating, and it was a real pleasure for me to capture her story. And that's it for this week on Full-Time to Freelance, where dreams become reality, one brave decision at a time. If you'd like to share your story to inspire others who are thinking about taking the leap to freelance or becoming a business owner, do let me know in the comments, and one of the team will reach out and get in touch. We'll be back again soon with more stories of transformation of those that have switched from full-time to freelance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.